It's battery time here on Livin' for a Livin'. I am Steve, and this is the Goldenmate 12 volt 100 amp hour battery. It is waterproof. It is waterproof and it is all black. There's a little bit of construction going on here at the campsite. No big deal. We all got to do our thing. We all got to live for a living here. This is a pretty slick little battery because it has some Bluetooth in it. And one of the things that I noticed about this battery when I first picked it up is that it actually seems a little heavy. So I did some measurements on the scale and it is 5 pounds heavier than your typical battery. This is a Group 31 size. There are typically two sizes on an RV that you need to take a look at. One is the smaller one, it's a Group 24 size, and usually it's about the same size as a trolling motor battery. I have two Group 24s on the front of my RV that I showed you how to do and install on a previous video. I'll link that in the description down below for you. This one here is the bigger size. So make sure that you check the size of your battery before you check into getting one of these for your RV. But even if you did get this, there are still plenty of ways to use this without directly connecting it up on the tongue. I have used this for powering my Starlink at 12 volts, and I have used this for just swapping out batteries and plugging in when I didn't have my solar panels mounted on my roof or anything along those lines. Whenever we review a battery, the first thing that you got to do when you get it out of the box is give it a full charge. These batteries do not ship fully charged, and we need to charge it up. So I'm going to use my Power Queen 40 amp charger, and at a 100 amp hour battery that's mostly discharged, it's going to take me about 3 hours to get it charged up. So this is a 100 amp hour battery. If it was completely dead, 40 plus 40 plus 40 gets you where you're at, plus a little bit more, but you know, simple math for camera stuff, no big deal. Let's put the Goldenmate battery onto the MakerHawk test device. It is only plugged in to the MakerHawk test device. It is not plugged into anything else. You can see there's nothing going on there. And what we have is a 305.73 amp hour test from our run on our last battery. So I need to reset that. And now we've zeroed out all the numbers, and I'm going to set this thing up to 10 amps to do a 10 amp drain test. And what this is going to do is pull 10 amps out of this battery forever until the battery shuts off. I set it to 9 point something on the coarse knob at the top, and then on the fine knob at the bottom, we'll set it down straight onto 10. And since this is a 100 amp hour battery, this will take 10 hours to test. I'll be back in 10 hours. And of course, if there's anything interesting to share along the way, I will drop in and give you that info as well. All right, we did the full charge. We just finished the full discharge. We have 107.16 amp hours pulled out in 10.5 hours. That's 1,351 watt hours. She does the thing. I like it. Okay, now that we have the battery fully discharged and tested, I want to try and do a recharge. Well, I'm not going to try. It's already doing it. You can see it behind me here, the Goldenmate battery on the shelf. And then this little box right up here is a 30 amp solar charge controller, and it is plugged into two 200 watt solar panels on the roof that are wired in parallel. So what I need to do is get the Goldenmate software loaded on the phone, and then we'll be able to see what the battery's actually doing and see if it jives with what we're getting on the solar charge controller or not. Let's go into the Play Store and let's search for Goldenmate. And we've got a couple of them, Goldenmate and Goldenmate HESS. Let's go with the regular Goldenmate and see what happens there. Install, open. So this here is a weird thing about Bluetooth. This isn't Goldenmate trying to snoop in on your everyday activities and report them up to some major cloud provider for data harvesting and resale purposes. What this is ignorant. But beyond that, it is Bluetooth has region codes, and certain devices can't talk to other devices unless they're in the same region. Also, Bluetooth has a 30-foot maximum signal range. I'm within 30 feet of the battery that's sitting over my shoulder right here, which I would be if I was trying to connect to it anyway, which means I'm in the appropriate region. And regardless of that fact, it's my battery, it's in my RV, it's on my phone. Get out of my business. Anyway, and you do need to do precise, because the GPS range, the approximate versus the precise doesn't get you that 30-foot crap. So precise while using the app. Find, contact, and determine relative positions of nearby devices. Yes, it needs to know that a device is nearby in order to contact it over Bluetooth, which is a nearby connection service. And there are a bunch of things in here. BTPQ is the solar charge controller. The Osmo Pocket is the camera that I'm recording on. IoT BT94C, IoT BT-AC7. I don't know what those are, but there's two of them and I only have one Goldenmate battery. JHL. So how do we find out which device this thing is? The XDZNs are 3 other batteries I have from 3 other companies, and the TY. So it's going to be a very strong signal and it's going to be nearby, and that's the IoT BT94C. So IoT, Internet of Things, Bluetooth, BT, 94C or AC7 being some kind of controller device. I don't know. I got to look at the battery and see if any of those things make any sense. Oh no, I think we're going to have to look in the manual. How to use the app, page 10. There's a QR code for Android or iOS. Turn on Bluetooth and the Goldenmate app automatically searches for the device's Bluetooth name. Select the Bluetooth name consistent with the serial code in the product traceability label to connect in the format of JL and a bunch of stars for letters or numbers. Okay, so I need to look at that. And of course it's small writing. I see JL 23 something something -470082. Okay, do we have one of those? There we go, we have a JL number. JL 23 something something 470076. Must be the one. Let's do it. All right, she's connected. She has found out the battery is 71% charged, 13.6 volts, 11.48 amps. Oh, we're refreshing. Why are we refreshing? 11.57 amps, 157.4 watts input. Full of time. 2 hours, 58 minutes. I think it's telling me it's going to take about 3 hours to charge this at the current 12 amp hour rate. So let's see, easy math, 70%, that leaves 30 left over. 30 is 3 hours at 10 amps per hour. So that math checks out. It tells me the temperature in Celsius or in Fahrenheit. That checks out. And it tells me that it's in a charging state. Okay. Works out pretty cool, gives you some feedback as to what's going on with your battery and where your battery level is. And this is actually pretty cool. How much battery life do I have left since the last time I was charged, plus my own thoughts of how much battery life I need in order to make it through the next day, night, whatever the situation may be. Gives me the ability to determine, do I turn on my generator? Do I plug into shore power? Do I charge this battery through some other means because I need to get there faster than 12 amps can carry me? Those kinds of things. So it's very useful information, because otherwise it's just a black box and it don't tell you nothing. So it's actually pretty good that you are able to determine state of charge on the battery. And I think that's some pretty useful information. Let's see how it compares to the solar charge controller. So we have the app showing on the battery. I'm going to put this up on the screen for you. We have the Goldenmate battery itself, and we have the solar charge controller. So what I'm going to do is work my way through the settings here. It's telling me 14.1 volts is what it's shoving into the battery, 14.0. And then this is telling me 100% because this charge controller hasn't figured out what the battery is yet. It doesn't know. It's got to go through a couple of charge cycles with this battery to get all familiar and happy and learn what the battery's all about. We're putting in 11.4 amps and the app says 11.65. That works. 1.18 kilowatts have been put into the battery. This is total cumulative kilowatts put in since this thing was connected to the battery. And the number on the screen of the app is telling me 159.6, which is the current amount of kilowatt hours, watts, whatever, going into the battery. 30 degrees Celsius, no errors, no load, no power from the battery to the load. That 8 watts is probably just, to run the lights and the screen and the microprocessor inside of here as a load on the device. We're getting 29.5 from the solar panels, nice. 14.0 is what it's converted to shove into the battery. 100% charged, 11.4 amps. Nice. In the wires, there's losses in the measuring devices. The measuring devices come from 2 different companies who don't agree on what algorithm to use. Close enough is close enough. That's all that's really important. If it said 5 amps into the battery and the charge controller told me it was pumping 20 amps into the battery, I'd be worried. But 11.7 versus 11.4, who cares? Good enough. All right, I have a link in the description down below for this battery, and that will help out the channel if you click on it, and it won't cost you any extra. And the battery passed all of its tests. I can't really ask for more than that. I do like the Bluetooth functionality. I do like the black color. The thing is all waterproof. It just depends on the stuff that you connect to it. And one of these days I'll have to do a waterproof test on one of these guys and stick them in a big vat of water and see if the light still stays on. But I don't have a light that you plug into the wall anymore because RVs come with lights all over them. So I got to figure out some way of testing that out. So be sure you're subscribed for the future when we do some more battery torture tests. In the meantime, there's a video right over here I think you'll enjoy next. I'll see you over there.